So in the vertebral column, I want you to remember that there's 7 cervical, which are the neck vertebrae, 12 thoracic, which are the upper back vertebrae, each one's associated with a pair of ribs, and 5 lumbar, which are the low back vertebrae. We end up with 1 sacrum and a coccyx. The sacrum is made of 5 fused, coccyx between 3 and 5 fused, here and here. So a typical vertebrae, if there is such a thing, we'll start with a lumbar, for example, and so you see the difference, a lumbar, a thoracic, which is smaller, it's a sharper point, and will have facets for ribs on the sides. And then a typical cervical, which is the smallest of all, and will have 2 foramen on the side, additional to allow an artery to go through. Commonalities are each one will have a body, which is anterior and weight-bearing. Each one will have a single spinous process off the back and 2 transverse processes off the sides. The other processes are superior and inferior articulating processes, which are allowing them to articulate with the vertebra above and below, and each one has a foramen for the spinal canal here, vertebral foramen. There are spaces between them, which would allow foramen here, but I'm not going to test that because they're just do individual. So be able to identify cervical, thoracic, and lumbar by sight, and then each of the features that are mentioned. C1 and C2 are special. So C1 is known as Atlas, and he has no body per se and no spinous process, but he's got a vertebral arch, and he allows the head to turn side to side. Axis has a large dens or odontoid process. You'll be simply writing dens on your test, D-E-N-S, and that allows them to articulate together for C1 and C2. The other 2 major bones of this unit are the hyoid, which if seated there you should be able to recognize that all by itself, and the sternum, which has a body, a xiphoid process, X-I-P-H-I-O-D, O-I-D, sorry, and a manubrium, or the head at the top. And that should be everybody. These are called costal cartilage, C-O-S-T-A-L, if I were to ask. And there are 7 that go directly to ribs 1 through 7. 8, 9, and 10 join and share a common piece, and ribs 11 and 12 have no cartilage associated with them.